And like this is how people are coping, right? People are coping with satirical kind of articles like this, like Canada's Delta-driven fourth wave of COVID-19 will be unlike anything we've ever seen, while death toll climbs, wealth inequality reaches all-time high, and billionaires take to space as planet literally burns. By part-time journalist, part-time delivery driver, one of three media megacorps. Like, it's it's just getting to the point. Like, I feel like this channel is just documenting the end of civilization, you know? And I get to wondering in a very serious kind of a way, like, what the hell am I even doing? you know? You know? Like, what the hell am I even doing? That what is the purpose of this? Is the purpose of this to, I mean, certainly a large part of this is to try to convince more and more people to dig their heels in and to stop participating and to, like, I hope that this labor shortage goes forever. I hope that we're constantly in this state. I hope that there are entire industries that can't survive. Like, I hope that there are major industries that do not survive this period of time. Well, Matthias, that's kind of you to say. Good to see you. You're trying, my friend, better than most can say. That's very sweet of you to say, Matthias. And I'm seeing this kind of thing manifest. Like, I've attempted to reach out and work with people, right? And try to build other podcasts and try to build other things and do other stuff. And it's so difficult. Like, I feel like this is one of the strategies of the capitalist death cult, is to just exhaust everyone so that there is no voice that can even stand up and speak out. And so that they can just do what they want. And of course, they're so delusional and so evil that they're completely willing to walk themselves and every future generation off of a cliff. And there does come a point where, like, I look at, like, people are saying and have said to me, like, John, you need to, like, think of the future and you need to plan for yourself, and like, what about your retirement or any of this kind of stuff? And I'm like, none of that means anything to me. Like, none of that means anything to me. Like, and I think that that's something that I just need to articulate and say out loud and be really honest with myself, that, like, of course I'm terrified of my own personal future. Like, my own personal future and my own ability to be stable, you know, as I get into my 60s and 70s, right? And as this society continues to abandon everyone, like, there is definitely this sort of drive and desire, and I'll say of everyone, you know, get yourself into a position, if you can, where you know you're actually going to be taken care of in your old age, because this society is abandoning us, and I just don't see that happening for me. Honestly, like, I just don't see that happening for me, because I just don't see much of a future in what we're doing. And, like, so part, I feel, of this channel and what I'm trying to really articulate to people is like there's nothing for us in the future. Like, there is no future for humanity. Nothing that anyone wants to participate in. Nothing that anybody actually wants to do. And if I grind myself into a retail job as, like, an assistant manager or even a manager, like, I'm not going to be able to get a house for all that matters in the first place. Like, I'm not going to be able to build anything. It's going to get swept away, as it always has been. Like, I've lived through 3 economic collapses in this society, like, and my experience with capitalism has been that it doesn't matter what you build, it will be swept away. And that the people who have sort of benefited from this capitalist model are just the lucky few. And there are lucky few, right, who have like built something, and then just before it gets the sweep away happens, they're able to turn around and sell it. Or they're, a farmer that was given free land by their daddy, who was given free land by the government. And so they're able to turn around and sell that and all of this. But, like, it's all for nothing. Like, that even the people who are the beneficiaries of the system, like, their children are going to experience, like, an enormous apocalyptic event. Like, and people are living in La La Land. People are living in this sort of delusional space. And I feel like this channel exists in part to try to get people to, like, dig their heels in and try to actually do something about it. And when I say do something, I mean do nothing about it. Like, and I do mean literally nothing. Like, stop participating entirely. Like, stop pretending like any of this activity that we're doing is helping. Like, this is the insanity of the system and how foundational the trouble is with what we're doing. That we really are now in this position where, like, our leaders and our economists are all, like, caught in this cycle of saying, we need to keep productivity up, that productivity is what matters. But if you are being productive at something that is destroying you, right? Like, it's like I'm watching a heroin junkie say that injecting heroin is productive, right? Like, that's the level of delusion that we're talking about now. That, like, yeah, I got to keep injecting heroin inside of myself because that's how productivity works. I'm the most productive then. Hey, Igor, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. And and if somebody were to come up to them and say, hey, you can't, that's self-destructive behavior, right? Just sitting on a street corner injecting heroin, right? That's self-destructive behavior. And imagine if they scoffed at you and said, no, what are you talking about? This is super productive. What, do you want to destroy the economy? Like, this is where we're at. And it's just so, and so absolutely I think this channel exists as a place for people to come and hopefully figure out how to protest against all of this. But more and more, I'm starting to see that this place exists as a place for people to come and find solidarity and grieve. That we're all in this kind of state of grief with one another. And that's the feeling that I have all the time. Even as I'm trying to find, like, distraction or just moments of peace, or even while I'm, playing with my little dog or speaking with my friends or anything, there's this undeniable, overwhelming sense of grief that permeates every discussion and permeates everything that I'm seeing today. That the grief is so horrific and unavoidable and directly in front of your face all the time, that your options are to either seek out people like myself who are attempting at the bare minimum to articulate this sense of rage and disappointment and grief, or the alternative is to just live in La La Land and to just continue ignoring that such a state exists entirely, and to just continue moving forward as if the situation doesn't exist. And I used to work in funeral services, and I saw this happen. I saw people who did this in regards to handling their own grief. That there were people who would weep and cry and seek out others and hold one another and all of that. And then there were people who would just, like, walk around as if there was nothing going on, as if they they would busy themselves with some sort of task or something. Anything they could do to not actually face their own grief. Hey Ruth, hey Damn Boxes, good to see you guys. Well, damn boxes, I think that's what it's all about at this point, right? I think that if you didn't feel that way, you wouldn't be here. And I don't know, like it just feels kind of odd to build a channel based around grief. Like, is that something that people want? Is that something that are people going to keep tuning in, day out, every day? Hey everybody, come grieve with me, let's cry and weep a lot. It just does feel like this is one big gigantic wake. Like it's a wake for humanity, right? That the fascists call us the woke crowd, but really they should call us the wake crowd, because that's what we're doing. I feel like I'm constantly holding a eulogy for not only capitalism, but for humanity itself. That's really what this is. This is just like one gigantic funeral for humanity. And that, like, it's like I'm building not only a protest against the system that's creating these circumstances, which I certainly am. And if you send $1 my way, you can get into the Discord and join the organization that's just starting up now. We're spread out across Canada right now, but hopefully we can start connecting with one another and hopefully start doing some more serious stuff as this channel grows and as things come. And certainly, like, the protest is part of it, because we have to cling onto the idea that we can salvage this, that it is salvageable. We have to believe that that is the case. We have to believe that the planet is powerful enough that if we can find ways to stop this infernal madness, that the planet itself will heal and show mercy to us. We have to believe that. But then there's also the other side of it, which is to say that, like, we have to find acceptance and find solidarity with one another and find a way to move forward in a society that is destroying itself, that is actively and genuinely and in very serious and in very real ways destroying itself. And we have to really truly begin treating the people who are walking around pretending like it's not happening, or who are attempting to pander to the idea. We genuinely have to start saying to these people that what they're doing is unacceptable, that is unacceptable behavior. It's delusional, it's scary, it's harmful, and frankly, like, and I've said it over and over and over again on this channel, I am not going to accept that we as a society are taking this seriously until the CEOs and shareholders of places like ExxonMobil and BP Oil are in jail, until we have fully incarcerated them for their crimes against humanity, for murdering humanity, because that's what they've done, because that is what they've done. And, like, these psychopaths don't even care about their own children. And like, if we are going to go down, like, I'm not going to go down without a fight. I think that's really what it is. I'm just not going to go down without a fight.